Hello, Silver Fox Nation. Welcome back to yet another video. And come on in the den, get in there, get comfortable. We're going to start talking today. This series I'm doing here is just going to be kind of something different. You guys are welcome to listen to this as you go about your afternoon, your day of work, your morning commute, perhaps the long ride home. Um, so today I'm discussing Classic WoW. But as the title said, it's not going to be what you think. I have been playing World of Warcraft, just to set the scene a little bit, 21 years. I started with WoW in 2006. Um, and, well, I'm sorry, in 2005. I came over from EverQuest. And we're almost into 2026. So, yeah, almost right at 21 years. And I have to say, I've had some great experiences in this game. I was there for the OG. I was there for the original launch of World of Warcraft. I walked through the original portal. I fought the Lich King. I did all of the original Wrath of the Lich King, and let me just tell you, it was amazing. That trilogy, those first three expansions, Burning Crusades, into Wrath, and obviously the original, what we now call vanilla or classic WoW, but at the time, that's all there was. It was just WoW. You liked it or you hated it, and at the time, people loved it. At first, I said I'll never play that damn game. I like EverQuest. I'll never leave EverQuest for WoW. But slowly, all my friends left EverQuest. And I had lots of friends I played with every day. They all came over here. So I bought the game. I put in the 6 discs and the 5-hour installation process, because that's what it seems like it was. And I was running a very old, outdated computer. Even by the standards then, barely played the game. I threw down $15, and let me tell you, $15 back then was a lot of money. I mean, let's see, that was 2000. Okay, my first job in like 1987 paid like $3.10 an hour. I know we've come a long way. So if you go forth about 15 years, 20, yeah. So $15 a month, I think I was making maybe $6 or $7 an hour when the game came out. So you got to think, man, I had to work 3 hours just to pay for a WoW subscription. Like, I know, but 3 hours to do, and I had a wife and a child, a small child. It was a lot back then to keep the subscription going. And there were months that I couldn't afford it, and I just had to sit the action out, right? But the experience of classic WoW was amazing. Like, it was truly one of the best game at the time I'd ever played. It's all I ever wanted. If it would have been in space, because I was a huge Star Trek fan, if you could have taken and put WoW in space, and I know we get the space goats later, and we're eventually kind of, it turns out we're on a planet, and there's other planets, and I know. But if you could have put it in I'm flying across the galaxy type setting, and instead of going to Elwyn Forest, I could have went to this planet and then to this planet. Dude, that would have been the single greatest game. But that's just for me, right? But WoW still was the greatest game of its time. It was amazing. And you all have to remember, this is back when Blizzard made quality products. They made amazing games. They made great content. They were a group of, I think, like 20 developers or something like that had a great passion for gaming and created something truly amazing. Now, if you look at WoW and you go back and you watch other people's YouTube videos and you look at all the secret content and the stuff they put in the game and the bits of humor, and it truly was a masterpiece. But WoW has evolved. I currently, right now, just as background video, I'm just kind of sitting here on a little peak here by Owen Forest, just kind of hanging out a little bit. thought we maybe park by a waterfall for this video. So if you're, doing something crazy like driving in traffic or something, you can maybe have a little bit of a relaxing background. Maybe we'll just sit right here. Well, can I sit on this log? I'm gonna get over here. How about down here? It might be a little bit too loud. Just sitting here by the water might be all right. So we'll hop on the old Brewfest Kodo, and we'll sit here and talk for a little bit about some things. Listen to the rippling of the water. So, yeah. Classic WoW, or the original vanilla WoW, the OG, has gone through many expansions and is now the retail WoW that I play today. Now, I have to ask a question, and before I do, you've already come into this video a little bit, so I'd appreciate if you guys could hit the like button down there. It lets me know, because I check my stuff every day, and I look to see who's liking videos and how many views I have. Not because I'm trying to get some kind of fame or being noticed on this. I just would like to know that some people are getting a benefit out of these videos I'm doing. So, because believe it or not, I didn't know or realize before I started doing YouTube content, it's actually work. It's a hobby, right? But it is actually work. And I'd like to know that my time invested, some people are seeing this. It means a lot to me. So if you can click that like button, I sure do appreciate it. Now, back to what I was talking about. I feel sometimes that I'm the only person that likes retail WoW. It seems like there's two types of communities. You're either a retail player and you hate classic, or you're a classic player and you hate retail. It seems as if there's almost no in between for the fan base. But no matter which version you play, there's one thing I notice about the fan base, and this would make me hate, and I mean loathe and despise, being a Blizzard employee or, a creator for this game. Because no matter what they do, the complaints just roll in. They took a hard hit when they had those people working for them that were just losers and were stealing, mom's breast milks from the fridge and, building that Bill Cosby suite in that hotel convention place. WoW has been through a lot. And Blizzard, their creators have been through a lot. And they took the time and they said, look, we love this game. And believe it or not, they love the game. They do. I don't just want you all to think, well, these are a bunch of just assholes making a video game. And they don't care anything about it. They just want your money. We're going to address that. But I'm going to try to keep this in a mature, intelligent conversation. So, in my heart of hearts, I have been a beta tester for Blizzard. I have been a paid beta tester for Blizzard. I have done some things for them over the years. And I have sat at a big Zoom meeting conference table with the big executives from Blizzard, and I have given them feedback on things. And this is back during Shadowlands, okay? So, I will say this. I feel as if they love the game. I feel as if they want the game to succeed for many years. I mean, they want to keep WoW. We're in year 21? They want year 30 and maybe year 40. Like, they want to keep this game going and the technology to keep it going for a long time. Like, no end in sight. We're in the tunnel together. There's no end. They want to keep this game going. So that being said, let's talk about Classic WoW. And I'm going to try to keep this video as brief as possible, but yet I want to get my point across. I see so many YouTubers that said, hey, Blizzard, we want Classic WoW. We want to go back. And you know what they said? You think you want that, but you don't. Guess what? They were wrong. People did. They released it, and they had the biggest spike in players I think they've ever had since maybe the original launch or the Wrath of the Lich King. It was a monstrous amount of people that came in droves and played. And then they said, hey, Blizzard, Thanks, that was great, but we want more. We 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 really want more. Like, don't get us wrong, Blizzard. Classic's great, but we'd like to have something else. Look at all these people on private servers, Blizzard. Look over here now. Now I know they're stealing your content. They have stolen your IP illegally, but let's just overlook that. They made a great hardcore version of this, and it's just epic. So I know they're thieves, and they're making money off your stuff, and you're not getting any of that money. And I know some of your player base is going over there and playing it, but listen to me. Hear me out. Hear me out. They made a hardcore version. We'd like that hardcore version. And Blizzard said, would you really? So guess what they did? They gave you a hardcore version. And that was popular, and people played that for a bit, and then they were like, whoa, wait. You know what would be great? Blizzard, you know what would be great? Is if we could relive all the expansions, just like they were when they were released. And Blizzard said, we hear you. Gotcha. And what'd they do? Bam, Burning Crusade. Classic. Bam, Wrath of the Lich King. Classic. And then I think came hardcore mode, to be fair. Then you guys looked at him and said, hey, thanks. We appreciate all this, but it's still not giving us our fix. We know you released Classic. We know you gave us Burning Crusade. We know you gave us Wrath. But we're still whiny and we want more. Again, refer to the private servers. Look what people are doing on the private servers. Look what they're doing. They are making WoW. Yes, I know. Again, they're stealing your stuff and they're making WoW. But their World of Warcraft's better than your original. They've added new stuff in the zones and put in new dungeons. So Blizzard said, you know what? We see you. Here comes Season of Discovery. And they released Season of Discovery. All the greatness of classic WoW, a little faster leveling. They time gated. They gave you what, like to level 25 in a 25 dungeon. And then, you know, the next series of levels, I apologize, I can't accurately remember what they were, but let's say went to 40 and you got another dungeon, and then 90 days later, bam, you know, level 60 in the in-game raids and things. And they changed the classes. They made mages be able to heal and warlocks be able to tank, and they just kind of went crazy with it. And it was a passion project, and it lit WoW up like nothing had before. You know, going back at least 15, 18 years. People loved Season of Discovery. I have never seen so many videos slamming Blizzard for, you know, stopping it. When they said, hey guys, we're going to make this and it's going to last a while, but it's going to end. Y'all didn't hear the end part. You just heard, yeah, let's go play SOD. Season of Discovery rules, man. Retail rules and SOD rules. Let's go. And that's just kind of what it became. So now, Season of Discovery has ended. And everybody's mad. The whiners are whining, man. They're out in droves. Now, look, I say whiners. I'm jesting. I'm kidding. I know you all want what you're passionate about, and I'm not saying you don't deserve it. But I think we need to take a moment and look at Blizzard and say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to make this epic stuff you made for us because we asked for it. Well, guess what? They didn't have to. They could have kept plugging and popping along with retail, but I think they took the time and said, you know, players like this kind of content. And since they did that, they released Dragonflight in retail. And Dragonflight kind of changed the face of retail, right? It has gone back and now is or has become a thing where they started adding content. They started changing things in retail. They started shaping classes differently. They started giving beautiful zones. If you haven't played retail and you haven't seen Dragonflight, it's truly some of the prettiest zones in World of Warcraft history. They really put some effort in there, but they weren't done. As they kept doing things in Classic and re-releasing Classic and WoW Classic Anniversary during the 20th anniversary. And now WoW Classic, then Pandaria Remix. They have given you so many different versions of WoW. When I log into the game, I can click and I can go play WoW. I can go play WoW Classic. I can go play WoW Classic Anniversary. I can play Retail. I can play Mists of Pandaria Classic. We're getting ready to have Legion Remix. And there's still Season of Discovery servers open. If I had missed that, I could go play that too. Blizzard is still giving us things. But I'm seeing the Classic community slamming them once again for going out against these other servers and these other companies. And I know you're playing your game there. I wouldn't want to be sitting here right now and Blizzard say, hey, we're shutting you down. We know you have fun in this game. We know this is a big part of your life. But we're canceling it like a stamp, man. Without telling me, we're canceling it without giving you anything. And I know there's a lot of frustration in that too for the Classic players. They're not getting any word from Blizzard that something else is coming. But I want to tell you guys, now no, I don't have any insight. I don't have a buddy at the company that's been like, hey, Silver Fox, guess what, big guy? We're making, WoW Classic Slamma-Bama Jamma, and it's going to be the best shit you've ever seen. Don't tell anybody. But I'm going to say this. Knowing Blizzard the way I think I know them, and we're getting to the money part, they want this game to be successful. Next year, there is a BlizzCon. And I do feel 1,000,000% that next year at BlizzCon, you will get an announcement about the future of World of Warcraft Classic. I think there's more coming. I think, hey, if all I have to do is release a file or I need to hire a team of people and I'm going to change things in World of Warcraft Classic, I think we're going to see almost a WoW 2, if you will. Now, I don't mean it'll be WoW 2, but I think we're going to see something move from Classic into the next iteration, if you will, of World of Warcraft. It'll be that Classic Plus that people are wanting. You will have what you have on the private servers, new zones, new dungeons, new things in the old world where we can play and feel as if that matters. And I think everyone will be happy. I think Blizzard has a lot of irons in the fire. They just released a whole lot of new stuff for Japan players only. I know a lot of people are mad about that in the U.S. They're like, hey, great to be, a person living in Japan right now. But we're not getting anything. But I think everybody just needs to be patient and quit slamming Blizzard and wait. I think good things are coming. And as far as retail goes, I can pull up the charts. Retail WoW is currently in the best place it's ever been. Now, I know. I've been sitting here in this old dank river for a while, and there's nobody around. And everybody's like, I want to play in a social game. I want to feel as if I'm playing with other people. And there's all these zones out here and nobody playing in them. You're right. I'm not going to dispute that. You're not going to see people in the game like you do in Classic WoW. Because this is a different animal. Now here's the key right here. It doesn't mean it's a bad one. It's just a different one. Okay? Now I'm going to guarantee you when I go to Goldshire there's going to be players there. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people here in Goldshire. See, there's some there. Look, we're popping in. We're seeing them. Look at this. Okay, there's been a lot going on here today. Holy Jesus. Okay, so I'm just going to say this. I have no idea what happened here, but oh my God, it looked like it was an epic night at the Goldshire Inn. Okay, so there are people here. There is social activity. The difference is this. When you level in Classic, you're gonna see players. You're going to interact with them. You're going to feel like you're a part of the community. You're gonna see somebody and say, "Hey, I need to kill 12 of these wolves over here. I can't do it by myself. Can we join up?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, man, let's get them." Right? Because at level 1 in Classic WoW, you are playing World of Warcraft. But in retail, you get an easy level to 80. Truly, 70 to 80 is the only difficult time you're going to have. And it's not horribly difficult. And then once you get to 80, the end game starts. And the end game in retail, wow, there's tons of do. We have housing coming. So you've got the... I had to get a drink. You have the housing coming. You have all the items and things. If you're a collector, this is a great time to be a WoW player because there's going to be, tons of mounts coming, tons of things you can collect for your homes, all the ways you can build your houses, faction-based houses. You're going to have several different types of alliance homes or horde homes. There's so much stuff. Not to mention the game itself and the content and the story and everything else that's coming. You can go back and get the things you missed. You can right this minute, I can go play any expansion I want through WoW's history and experience it in the joy and do it all. I work a normal job. I'm just a normal dude. I come home and this is my thing, man. I love playing WoW. So retail WoW, it's really good. I know Classic players are like, well, it's missing this and it's missing that. Yeah, it is. And for me, Classic's missing stuff. I don't want to do something I have done hundreds of times, literally, in the last 20 years. I want to go get those new mounts and those new house items and that, all the stuff that's coming. I want to go do all of that. And here's the thing. However you want to play WoW, you should be able to. And I hope that Blizzard announces another thing, another brand new way of playing, World of Warcraft Classic or Vanilla, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I'm dealing with Xbox, You got the Xbox One, the S, the 360, the 95, the 800. Look, there's so many versions of WoW. I hope as players, we all get to play the versions we want and love. I'm not knocking you for wanting Classic. I have joked and given people a little bit of a poke, right? But I'm kidding. People mess with me. It's like, how can you play that retail shit? Look, you like what you like, and I hope you have great success at it. And I'm sorry that your pirated versions of WoW are being closed down and those servers are getting shut down because they will. This is a serious thing. They're going against people, and Blizzard is actually trying to put people in prison. They're not asking for money. They want people to be put in prison for ripping off their product. So this is a serious RICO Act kind of thing. Doesn't look good for some of those people. And they are actively saying, if you put up another server, we will shut it down, and we will prosecute you to the full extent of the law, including jail time. And some of this jail time, what I've seen, can be 5-10 years in jail. So I don't think, like somebody like me, would not put up a Classic server and risk going to prison for it, even if I was in another country. It might take longer to get me put in jail on extradition laws and all this, that, and the other. But Blizzard is a billion, with a big capital B, billion-dollar company. They have lawyers working for them, like McDonald's has people pumping out ice cream, man. All they have to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, I need you to sue so-and-so. I need you to do this. They have corporate lawyers. They're in Los Angeles. Some of the best attorneys in the world are housed there. They're coming to shut these servers down. I'm sorry it's interrupting some Classic players' play. But keep this in mind. I've seen people running off to RuneScape, running off to other games. I'm mad at WoW. Okay, look. To me, that felt like a YouTube movement. Like some people were just like, I hate old school RuneScape. I would never play that no matter what. I don't want to go settle for another game because WoW isn't doing what I want them to. I think in retrospect, Hey, maybe you played a warlock in Season of Discovery. Now could be a time you come back and play maybe a mage, or you try out a warrior, or you try out a paladin. I think there's more things left in sod, and it can stay alive if people want to just keep playing it. But I also understand you did it, and you don't want to be there anymore. So that brings me to my final point. Maybe you just don't like WoW the way you thought you did. When you truly love a game, and I mean love that game, a person usually, and I'm saying usually, we'll say 90% of the time, try to find a way to stay in that game. Right? I know you can only do so much, and it's fine to go play other games. But you find a way to come back to it once a month, once every 30, 40 days, whatever. So sometimes that's just how it goes. Looks like I'm about to get some type of social interaction here. But it looks as if, sometimes I think people love something so much in the moment, and then when the moment ends, they're done. Sod was the flavor of the month. It was the new candy that came out. Everybody chewed on it for about 6 or 7 months, and most of it died out. And what didn't, what lasted the full year, well, you had a small group of people that enjoyed that so much that they got so upset when it ended. And I'm sorry it did for you. But I'm gonna challenge you guys. If you're a classic Andy and you think, oh, I couldn't play retail, I'm gonna challenge you to come give it a shot. There's something to do every day. And I'm also going to give you some words of wisdom. Hang in there. I do believe an announcement from Blizzard is coming. Just keep in mind, they have a huge retail launch of Midnight coming in a few months. They have Legion Remix, and they have some retail content coming. Sod got lots of love. They hired a whole team for Sod. Now retail's getting some love. But I do think a WoW Classic Plus is on the horizon. So hang in there, fellow World of Warcraft players. If you're bored and you just want to be in WoW, hey, come see me. I play on the Moonguard server. I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to have you a part of my community. I'm going to create a Discord. My channel's gonna do some things. And I'm just happy to have you guys here. I'm going to create a guild. I'm going to do some things to bring us together and hopefully have some glue that holds us together. All kidding and joking aside. At the end of the day, whether you're classic Andy or like me and you're a retail Andy, you love this game. And I have loved WoW for 20 years. This is my therapy every day. And I truly enjoy it. And I hope you guys too do as well. I hope you guys can see, with a little patience, I think Blizzard's going to give us something really special in the next, year or so. Definitely an announcement probably in the next 6 or 7 months. And I think the teasers are going to start. Wait for Midnight to release. Midnight's going to drop, January, February of 2026. I want you guys to look at March and April 2026. The cone will be silenced. Midnight will have dropped. Remix of Legion will be over. The housing will have hit. And people will be collecting and doing things. But guess what? People get bored. And they're like, eh. And WoW, Blizzard, has been on a 90-day cycle. They start dropping stuff in 90 days. And that seems to be like patches come. Here's a patch. 4 or 5 months later, here's a patch. Every 90 days, here's some content. Here's a little bit of content. Here's a little bit more content. I think if we just all hang in there, we'll have something really special. So Don't despair, my classic friends. Something good's going to come your way. And remember, Silver Fox Nation, if you liked this video, and I hope you did, if it, made you kind of look at the classic Andes and the retail Andes a little bit different, that's what I was going for. If you stuck till the end, leave a comment end. Let me know you got to the end of this. And tell me what you'd like to see from me. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this. And please don't forget to like. And if you really liked it and you want to hang around and get more of my content, please hit subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next Silver Fox Nation. I will see you guys next time. Man, hey, everybody out there, be good to each other. Take care of each other. The world's in a crap show right now. We all need each other. I'll see you next time.